This has to be one of the most beautiful kitchens I've ever seen, but every square inch of it just screams bad feng shui. I love you, Nate Berkus, but why do you keep designing kitchens like this? And this, and this. Hello everyone, I'm Julie, certified interior designer, but today I'm coming to you as a lifelong feng shui practitioner. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to feng shui your home for beginners with a zero budget and really simple basic tips. I want you to be able to look at these images alongside me and kind of dissect all of the good and bad feng shui that's going on. Feng shui could be overly complicated, which is why most people don't even know where to start. But once you understand that you are 100% in control of your home and space, you'll find that these tips are so much easier to apply, especially when you don't have to spend a single dime to do it. I am a glamour girl at heart. I love classic black and white designs. I mean, there's so much about this kitchen that I'm absolutely obsessed with as a professional interior designer. Now, as a lifelong feng shui practitioner, here are some things that you should look out for according to feng shui. We have two opposite elements in this space. You have the stove that is fire and you have the water, which is the sink. Fire and water cancel each other out. So if you're trying to amplify these sectors and elements in your home, you definitely don't want to place them directly across from each other as Nate Berkus has done in this design kitchen. Furthermore, when you look at the stove, you'll see this really beautiful pot filler. I mean, I know how everyone feels about pot fillers out there. It's like a luxury, not a total necessity, but check out what's next to it. Who puts a mirror in the kitchen? To put a decorative mirror inside the kitchen, what are you trying to do? I mean, are you checking yourself out? Are you applying lipstick? I highly doubt it. I can see all of this grease and oil that's going to splatter all over the mirror. But beyond that, you're amplifying that fire element. You might be wondering, well, hey, if the sink is across the stove and I placed a mirror there, doesn't that mean that the water is going to be reflected right off that mirror and is going to bounce back in the other directions? Technically, yes, but what you're also doing is you're doubling up. You're amplifying that fire element, which is the strongest element in a home, in the kitchen. So you definitely want to reduce that strength of the element before you start to place all of the other elements in your space. Okay, let's move on to the next kitchen that Nate designed. I mean, he does this every single time. Here is another one, sink across the stove. Here is another beautifully designed kitchen. I mean, oh my gosh, I want to move into this kitchen. I love this entire palette with the statement stone and those dark green cabinets, the unlacquered brass finishing. I mean, there's so much of this kitchen that I want in my home. But again, that stove across from the sink, I mean, that's one of those elements that you're going to have to reposition or else catastrophe is about to happen in your home. That's not true, okay? That's not true at all. You know, feng shui always wants to make every single little thing like more exaggerated than it really is, but it's your home. It's really ultimately how you feel in your space and not about how you decorate or design it. Unless your home looks like this, or this, or this. For all you beginners out there, do you want to know what's the perfect place to start in feng shui? You can start by cleaning up your you can start by you come home from work, you come home from school, and you just want to relax. But how are you able to relax and usher in all of that good, positive energy when your house is a mess? So the first place to start in feng shui is with the Great Purge. Feng shui is divided into 5 different elements. These 5 elements are relegated to certain compass directions in the home. North is water, south is fire, east is wood, and west is metal. And then at the center of it all, you have earth. So the goal of feng shui is to balance all of those 5 elements in a space where they work harmoniously alongside you and ultimately your surroundings. So when we're talking about a kitchen, we have the 2 main elements in the kitchen, which is fire and water. You saw all those Nate Berkus designed kitchens. He had a stove and a sink that was directly across from each other. So you'll remember that the fire and the water elements cancel each other out. Now, how do you place a stove and a sink in a way that doesn't cancel each other out? So check out this layout. You see how the hood is on that far wall? And then they've placed that sink directly on the island. Even though it's across from the stove, it's on a diagonal. When it's on a diagonal, those elements don't cancel each other out. But when it's in a straight line, it absolutely does. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the feng shui principles and guides in the kitchen is really just about a clean space. If you have glass door cabinets, you want to make sure that the glass is clean, it's not dusty, it's not grimy, it's greasy. Bonus points for plopping in a plant in here. Of course, we all want fresh, vibrant energy in our kitchen. So a plant is a perfect addition to this kitchen. One of the most important aspects of Feng Shui in the bedroom is all about the command position, which dictates that your head, when you're sleeping, should be in a command position where you can easily see who's coming in and out of the bedroom. You have full vantage point of the entry door, but your feet is not placed directly in front of it. That's considered the coffin position. That's the death position. You don't want to be in that position ever, ever. So the command position in a bedroom, you really have two walls to do this. I want you to picture your bedroom for me, okay? And the location of where your bed is right now. Find where your entry door is. Do you have a clear vantage point of where the entry door is? Is it coming at the side of your head? If it is, you're not in command. Is it coming directly at your feet? If it is, you're in a coffin position. That's not a command position. But if it's kind of at a diagonal and you're at the spot in your room where you can see who's coming in and out of the door, you're not in a coffin, you're not on the side, you are in command. That's awesome. You're already one step closer to feng shuiing your bedroom. Let's take a look at this bedroom together. I understand that this person has a twin bed, which is great. They are in the command position. You see how the door is situated kind of at an angle. I imagine that this person is kind of laying with their head against this wall, right? It's a wall that you don't see in this image. So this person is super neat and tidy, which is great. That checks off one feng shui box right there. Command position, there's a second box. However, there is a television in the space. Now, feng shui doesn't like televisions in a bedroom because bedrooms are a place of rest. It's considered a yin energy. Yin means resting energy, sleeping energy, versus yang energy, which is active energy. You don't want to invite active yang energy in a place of rest because it's too disruptive to your sleep. Feng Shui is all about balancing your body's natural energies alongside all of the energies in the environment surrounding you. Televisions are considered a black mirror in Feng Shui. Just like how a regular mirror reflects and bounces off light, the black mirror does the same. I mean, you can kind of see it in this image right now. There is a little bit of a reflection off that black mirror. I'm someone who watches television in bed, so I have to have a TV in bed, okay? I get it. Even though I am a lifelong Feng Shui practitioner, I don't always abide by Feng Shui rules. I mean, I have to have that television. However, I also know the implications of having that reflection disrupt my sleep. So if you have the same condition as this person or myself, you could easily just drape like a scarf or a blanket or like a light little throw over the television every single night to help you sleep better. Feng Shui also guides against working in your bedroom. I mean, for a student, you have a desk sometimes. You know, if you work from home and you're tight on space, guess what? You might have to plop a desk in there. I get it. You have to think about your lifestyle and your needs first before you start applying all of these Feng Shui principles. I mean, you want Feng Shui to work with you, not against you, okay? So even though Feng Shui doesn't like for you to work in your bedroom, sometimes it's a necessity. Same idea with that black mirror. You want to close your laptop. I mean, I kind of love this workstation. You see the lamps, I get that. You see the monitor, but you can easily just kind of drape like a towel or a blanket over the monitor and boom, you know, you don't see anything else. Paperwork is gone, it's hidden in the drawers. I love this. Great design. Now moving on to this next bedroom, which kind of looks like how a lot of us live. This person looks like they are a gamer, a content creator, someone who loves to watch television as well. I mean, there's one TV in here, 1, 2, 3. There's like 6 monitors in here, which is kind of crazy. But let's just assume that we are standing at the entry door, okay? So now if we're standing at the front entry door, this guy is in a coffin position. It almost looks as though they could be carried right out the entry door. Now, if the entry door were kind of to the right of this screen, kind of like at the bottom corner of this screen, then yes, this is a command position because your headboard is against the wall that has direct line of sight from who's coming in and out of the entry door, yet you're kind of at an angle. So command position, check. Do you need all these books? Absolutely. Is there another place for you to place these books in a way where it's out of the way? With this room, there's nowhere to put this long desk. So I think placement wise, maybe I would invest in like a low console that it could possibly be something with like a column bookshelf that you can tuck away underneath the desk. Think like low file cabinets, right? So you have low bookshelves that you can tuck underneath the desk in strategic places where it's like not right smack dab in the entry of the room. Now let's talk about this really beautiful, serene bedroom. You look at this bedroom and you're just like, gosh, this is so beautiful. This is so pretty. It's so neat. It's so tidy. It's so aesthetic. I mean, it has all the vibes. But of the 3 bedrooms that I just showed you, this one probably has the worst feng shui. Now, why is that? We're gonna assume that this headboard is in the command position. Now, I want you to dissect this entire image, okay, from top to bottom. And I want you to think about what are some of the glaring feng shui issues that you see in this bedroom. Okay, now hold on to that thought, because I want you to remember that, and we're gonna discuss that at the end of the video. I wanna quiz you on some of the feng shui principles that you've learned in this video, so I want you to hang on to that thought, and we're gonna move on to living rooms. Plants, plants, plants. Yes, we love a house full of plants, but there are some things in this living room that feng shui just does not love. So for a living room, the key player, the main character in that living room is always the largest seat in the space. Just consider the seat in the home that you use the most. That seat needs to be in the command position, which really just means that you can see whoever's coming in and out of that space. If you have an open concept space, there could be many points of entry. So I want you to kind of decide what the main point of entry is for your own living space and locate the largest seating that you have in that space to have full vantage point of that main entrance. So now that you're seated in the command position, you're on this nice, cushy, comfy sofa, you just want to relax, you want to take in all the sounds, the sights, this beautiful view, but guess what? You look up and there's all these plants that could possibly even fall down on you, okay? I get it, you've secured it, these guys aren't going anywhere, but that's not the point, you know? The point with feng shui is all about symbolism. I kind of look at an elevation like this and I'm like, oh my gosh, let's get rid of all of these planters that are lining the walls that's right in back of your head, okay? These could topple anytime, and feng shui does just not like that imbalance. But everything else is pretty good in here. You know, I actually don't even mind that it's kind of like filled with this plant explosion. I love this look. It's kind of corralled in its own little collections. I think it's pretty organized. Do you? I mean, does this look cluttered to you, or does this feel like just right? Moving on to this next image, you've got the leopard print, you've got the chinoiserie, you've got the green. You know how I love green. You have these like bright, bold, graphic stripes. I'm obsessed with this room. And I feel like feng shui loves it too, except, what am I gonna say? What do you think feng shui doesn't love about this room? I'll give you a hint. It's kind of close to the plant tip from the previous living room image. You guys got it right, you know, is that little corbel, this vase that's about to like plop down any minute now. Yes, I get it. You've glued that sucker down. It's not going anywhere. So do you want to play designer first, or do you want to play a feng shui practitioner first? That's kind of up to you. You know, for me, I'm a designer first. I'm gonna have that piece of statement artwork. I'm gonna glue that vase down. I'm gonna make sure everything is kind of bolted to the wall so it's not going anywhere. But like color-wise, palette-wise, accessory decor, I feel like this is like, it's really perfect. This is just right. You have your sofa in a command position. Qi can move and meander around the space. It's not gonna bump into anything. There's a nice flow to this room, even though it's small and tight. Okay, let's look at this next living room together. This living room is cute. It's very like Southwest boho inspired. I kind of like the space planning. It has this very similar vibe as that previous maximalist room. You've got that sofa, you have a cute little coffee table. You know, Qi can move in and around the space. You also have dedicated zones to like a hobby corner where there's like a cute little club chair, a little recliner lounge chair. I love that. I do have a slight problem with this rocking. Is this a rocking chair? Kind of this chair that's in the way of this frame. I mean, I get it. They probably styled it this way just to make a more dynamic image, but you always want to be careful about blocking Qi, okay? Qi is where all the energy goes into your home and permeates the space. You don't want clutter because it's gonna block Qi. You don't want to place a chair right in the middle of your entry because that's going to block Qi as well. So I think for this tiny little living space, I would move that chair. I would probably even flank it on the other side of the side table to create like a symmetrical kind of vibe in front of this window. So not only have you opened this space up, but you've also created a conversation area, which I love. So this is cute, just some minor strategic changes. And yes, of course, you know, the shelving that's right above the sofa behind you. I mean, that stuff has to go too. Okay, moving on to this living room, this studio apartment. I love all the natural light. I love the herringbone floors, but there's just so much of this that feng shui is going to be like, no, no, no. What's the first thing that you would do in this space to usher in more positive Qi? Remember, you're saving your answers for the end. We're gonna round it all up. I'm gonna quiz you. We're gonna go through these slides and we're gonna compare if your answers were the same as mine. Before we get out of bedrooms, I actually want to touch on this kid's room like really quickly. There's a lot of cuteness that's going on in this kid room, so there's also a lot of feng shui no-nos, okay? You know, obviously there's that shelving again. You know, I don't know why people do this. Why do you put shelves on either the side of your bed or above your bed? Don't you know that these things can fall, especially if you're in like earthquake zones like we are in Southern California? Better yet, you can remove those shelves completely and install them on a wall that's got like over a bookshelf or something, not something that's going to fall directly over your head. Another issue I see with this bedroom has less to do with the decor and decorations and more about the paint technique, okay? There's still a lot of symbolism going on, okay? You don't want a fire element in a bedroom because that's active yang energy. Fire in the bedroom could be anything from like a fireplace, I mean that's obvious, to even like candles. You know, a lot of us like aromatherapy, I get it, but you don't need like a big old like 5-foot candle when a tiny little tea light would do just fine. So the fire element in this kid's room is all about this paint technique that's on the wall, right? They've kind of taped off the wall and painted this mountain motif, almost like a mural. It looks like a mountain, but remember, feng shui is all about symbolism. So anytime you have this triangular shape, it mimics fire, okay? So that's kind of like right at the headboard. It's a fire element. Feng shui doesn't like fire headboards that look like this. And again, you know, this kind of painted motif as well. So this is a very easy DIY to undo this. You can just paint all the walls like one color. You can try wallpaper in a cute little pattern. So there's many ways around this that I don't think break the bank. Another thing I want to talk about is the bed placement, right? So yes, you're in a command position. You also don't want to place the bed in front of a window. So they actually did one thing right in this space. Qi also enters the home in and out of the front door, through windows, through back doors, anytime there is an opening in a wall. So an opening is just considered like a non-solid wall. That's where Qi can come in and out. Now, if you are sleeping with your head and your headboard right in front of the window, Qi is gonna bum rush you at night, right? You don't want all that energy pulsating towards your head at night because you're trying to sleep. What you can do is close up the curtains at night. You have this a flimsy little like sheer panel over the windows. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to stop Qi. But if you have like shades or blackout panels, just like some heavy drapery panels, that's really going to help block off Qi, especially when you need to place your bed in front of a window. So it's almost like a little feng shui loophole when you have to place your bed in front of a window. Again, with a mirror, no mirrors in the bedroom, so definitely get rid of this mirror as well. Even though it's not reflecting the bed, and you could easily just take this mirror off from, you know, its stand and kind of flip it down, that's okay too. So if you have to have a mirror in the bedroom, that's fine. Just do whatever you can to cover it at night. You know, feng shui in the dining room is all about abundance, you know, rich with food, rich with love, big on family. So if you look at this image, this is a really beautifully designed space according to feng shui. You have a really clear and easy path for Qi to meander through. The dining table isn't too close to the island. It's not too close to the adjacent area. There's a nice even placement of chairs around the dining table. There's a soft, cushy, custom banquette. I mean, I love this dining room. It looks very comfortable. It looks very relaxed. I don't see any glaring issues in this dining room. They've addressed the niche kind of in the rear wall of this dining room. And I kind of love all of these like handmade elements. There's a very artistic quality to this dining room that feels very understated. It makes you almost want to get up close and personal with that bookshelf and inspect all these little decorative items. When you're decorating a living room, you always want to key into the location of the dining room, right? Like this dining area. If you were to map out your entire floor plan, where does a dining room fall? If the dining room falls on the east side of your home, that east side is all about growth and prosperity, then I could see you decorating with like green elements, wood elements, maybe some more plants in this niche. I love that there's wood shelving already, so you're almost promoting that wood and growth element. Now moving on to this dining space, I mean, this is just so beautiful. I've shared this space before. I'm kind of obsessed with this entire look and vibe. I mean, the greens against the woods. Talk about auspicious, especially on that east side of your home. Now, what if this dining room was located on the west side of your home? That west side is all about metal. I don't see any metal elements in this space. How do you amplify more of a metal element in a space that's dominated by wood? There's a few things that you could do. You could swap out this dining table to be a glass and metal dining table if you'd like. You could also drop in a metal pendant right above this dining table. If you kept the wood dining table, you could switch out the chairs to be something metal instead. If you don't want to decorate with the actual element in its respective corners, you could also symbolically amp up that element by using the colors that are associated with it. So the metal side of your home is all about whites and silvers. So instead of a palette of greens and woods, you know, you can reupholster this banquette to a white color, to a silver color, to a gray color, kind of anything that reflects that metal element through the use of color or the actual material itself. This dining room is so dreamy. I mean, it's not really a room. It's kind of an open concept space, and it feels like a smaller space, but I love this palette. It's so pretty. You know, you got the amethyst, you've got the oranges. Anytime you're decorating with color in Feng Shui, you almost want to look to the Bagua map. So the Bagua map will dictate not only the compass directions, but all of the colors that are associated with that direction as well. If you want to learn more about understanding the Bagua map and all the colors and elements that are associated with it, I'm going to leave a link right here, understanding the Bagua map, especially when you're trying to lay out all of these colors in your space. Remember that you don't have to overlay the Bagua map over your entire home. You can actually individually pick a specific zone or a room in your home and apply the elements and the colors according to just that room only. So for a dining space like this, if you're trying to determine the colors of your chairs or your table or even like a cute little banquette or sofa, look to where your dining room falls on the Bagua map to help you inform your choices. In Feng Shui, a bathroom is known to have the lowest form of energy in your entire home. I mean, I consider it the place where qi goes to die. Why is that? A lot of water comes in and out of bathrooms, right? You have water at the sink, you have water in the shower, there's water in the toilet. In Feng Shui, water is directly correlated with prosperity. Because of this, most Feng Shui experts will tell you not to decorate the bathrooms, just to keep it really clean, neat, tidy. Always keep that toilet lid closed down because, you know, that's where all your riches go. You don't want all your money to be flushed down the toilet. You also don't want like drippy faucets because if the water is running down the faucet, you're losing money by the dollar. Remember, Feng Shui is all about symbolism. No one is ever going to measure this according to how much success that you have in your life. But I kind of take it with a grain of salt, right? I'm an interior designer first. Are you going to try to tell an interior designer that they can't decorate their bathrooms? I don't think so, right? So when you're in the bathroom, the most important thing according to Feng Shui is to keep it clean. Keep that bathroom clean. Just like this, and like this, and like this. Ooh, this is like such a dreamy Zen bathroom. Wow. This is huge. This is like bigger than my whole bedroom. Oh my gosh. What a dream. So let's find a bathroom that like most people have in their space, okay? Maybe something like this, okay? It's cute. It's a cute little bathroom. They've got zalige tile on the wall. I love zalige tile. You have this cute little checkerboard pattern on the floor. I mean, I don't mind checkerboard patterns. I think if you're trying to inject a little bit of fun, a little bit of color, if this bathroom were located on the north sector of your home, where it's all about those like really beautiful inky blues, this would be great. This would be a great choice for bathroom flooring. Now, it's clean. It's tidy. It's got all of those elements. I actually even love that they've got some Feng Shui tips correctly in here, okay? You see all of this bathroom shelving? Bathroom shelving is great because no one is sitting underneath these shelves. If I'm enjoying the tub, I would be lying down on the opposite end of this bathtub, right? There's nothing behind me. There's nothing that's gonna fall down on me. They actually got the decoration pretty on point in this bathroom. Okay, now where's the toilet? Where's that darn toilet? We're gonna assume that that toilet seat is down. Mirror, no mirrors reflecting the toilet. That's also a plus because the toilet is where all that negative energy is, right? You don't want to double that negative energy. You almost want to hide that negative energy. So if you have a mirror that's directly facing your toilet right now, consider relocating it. Where's all the toilets in these bathrooms? I mean, look at this bathroom. This is so pretty, okay? Like, this is probably my dream bathroom color or dream bathroom palette. I love a statement floor. I love panel molding. I love this really beautiful soft gauzy pendant that's kind of like right in front of this beautiful oval mirror. However, there are some issues with this bathroom, even though I love it. Can you guess what it is? We are now at my favorite portion of these Feng Shui videos. I'm gonna quiz you. I wanted to talk about Feng Shui in a more casual and approachable way. Sometimes we need to look at images, we need to dissect it from like top to bottom to figure out what works, what doesn't work. Like, would I do the same thing? What are the most basic beginner tips that I can implement right now with a zero budget? Starting with this bathroom. Like I said, I love the palette. I'm gonna assume that the toilet seat is down, even though we can't see the toilet in this picture. This is the one thing that I will say about this bathroom. As a user, for me to go wash my hands at this sink, at this beautiful sink, this beautiful elevation, and then all of a sudden look up and almost have this like pendant light, even as beautiful as it is, it almost looks like a hat, come crashing down on me like symbolically. Feng Shui just doesn't like that. You could either do one of two things. You could relocate this pendant so it's central to the bathroom instead of right above your head. But then you're probably thinking, okay, well, how am I gonna light the vanity area? Well, if you did that for general lighting, you could also add in 2 cute little wall sconces. The wall sconces don't have to be hardwired. Of course, you can find something that's like battery operated, and not only is that gonna light your face, it's also going to address the overhead lighting that's like right above your head. Now, we don't want that. Remember, we don't want anything falling on our heads while we are using the main function of the room. You get it? You never want anything to symbolically or literally fall on your head, okay? So just think about that. You almost want to be careful about placing decorative items that can kind of like come crashing down on you. Let's look at this bedroom again. Did you figure out what I was gonna say about why this is bad Feng Shui? Okay. Just picture this, okay? Imagine that you're sleeping in this bed. You've got these cushy pillows, you've got this soft, comfy blanket, you got these nice little reading lights. I mean, that's kind of perfect for like reading in bed or even phone banging in bed. However, you look up and then all of a sudden it's like half of these bookshelves is almost gonna collapse right on your head. Even though they're securely installed onto the walls, that's not the point. See that sharp angle where the corners of the cabinet meets? If I looked up, that sharp angle would be a poison arrow that's kind of like a dagger right on top of my head and my face. This is really bad Feng Shui because it's almost symbolically gonna cut you in half, okay? Feng Shui is just about positive energy, restful energy in your place of sleep, active energies in common areas. So it's like when you're sleeping in your bedroom, you don't want anything to get in the way of a restful night's sleep, especially like these overhead cabinets. Here's that living room again. Now let's go through this entire space and talk to you about the Feng Shui implications if you have this condition in your home. There's not a whole lot of elements in the space, but I think the way they styled it just made it look really cluttered, right? Like, now would I put chairs in this fashion on a day-to-day basis? Maybe, but it almost feels as though you're placing it here because you have guests, right? You have guests that are coming to visit and you're creating this conversation zone. So I like it. You know, one person can sit here, one person can sit here on this club chair, one person can sit on the ottoman, you got 2 people on the sofa. Everyone can kind of talk to each other and see each other. I love that. Now, if this were my living room day to day, I would probably have a more symmetrical type of configuration so that chi can move in a way where it doesn't stop, right? Now, if chi were to move in this space, it would probably stop at this little like butterfly chair. It'd stop again at the plant. It would stop again at the club chair. So if you situated this in a way where maybe like 2 little ottomans are on one side of the coffee table and like a club chair is on the other opposite long side. Now this would definitely become a place where chi feels welcome. They want to sit, they want to hang out. It's like chi's your friend. So move all the crap off of your floors, shuffle some of your furniture around so that chi can move through your space in like a really nice flowy way. And then watch all of my Feng Shui videos in my Feng Shui playlist for a deep dive into understanding understanding the Bagua map, how to place colors, how to use the elements. I mean, really, Feng Shui is all about learning the rules and then breaking them with intent. Okay, that's it, everyone. I mean, we went through all these pictures that I saved today. I really wanted just to convey that Feng Shui really can help you create the life that you want. I wanted a very casual format. I mean, I have an entire Feng Shui playlist. There's so much information on there. But I think before applying all of these tips and getting like really detailed with Feng Shui, you have to start with the basics. And the basics of Feng Shui is all about creating a life that you want. So you first have to ask yourself, number one, what do you want? And number two, how can you use the powers of Feng Shui to help you get there? Now, I'm here for you. I read all of the comments. I'll answer all of your questions. So if you have any questions when it comes to Feng Shui to this video, let me know in the comments below. If you like this type of content, you love this quick casual format, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like and a thumbs up. And for all of you viewers out there who live in the Southern Hemisphere, I'm so excited for next week's video. We are lining up Feng Shui basics for the Southern Hemisphere. This is a much requested video, so I can't wait to dive into it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next week.